Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Poss, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter rock, turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about, space out your mind? But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, the pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. We're leaving the kings of all crowns. So are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, y'all keep the flow. But can you rock?
Coach, the sun is set in Chicago. The temps have dipped and will continue to do so. Jacket and blanket weather. It's that time of year at Soldier Field. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we as the Bears get set to match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway.
Let's go, let's go! Good. 180. Watch it, we own it. We own it.
They'll run with a third-year man. This is Tariq Cohen. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
This is intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Another good carry there for the NFL's second leading rusher, and we've talked on air, off air about his MVP candidacy. Make a case for him.
But I'm just going to tell you point blank, it doesn't matter whether he's first or second or even third in the league in rushing yardage. That's not the main deal. It's how he gets those yards and the impact he has on his ball club.
Check. You know it. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take a win.
Draw play, Elliott. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his second rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the third down conversion. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that. Yeah,
you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Second and 11 at the 37-yard line.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. Check 43.
We're going to 52.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Elliott. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to face a third down.
Watch the curve. Watch the curve.
We're going to 54.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he's taken down inside the 30. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 29-yard line.
Check. 59. Watch the screen.
The first down carry by Elliott. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll run with Elliott. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Switch. Going to 54. Going to 53.
On third down, it's Prescott. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And he will not get what he needed as he stops short of the first down at around the 22. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. The kick by Maher is good. Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move. The Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Trubisky. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Check. He's coming.
They'll run on 1st down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. At the 30-yard line. So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
No, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively a dime look. 6 DBs. Prescott now after the fumble recovery. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play, because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. 6-0 our score after 1. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Sean Lee able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. Now Austin. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach is...
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. They're back now to the original line of scrimmage thanks to that 8-yard gain. 3rd down now to follow.
It's a gain of 8, and it brings up 3rd down.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Cooper's got him. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games with the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL seasons. Elliott. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed, getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, a chance to react.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 42-yard line.
Here we go. 59. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
On 2nd and 12, Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Prescott. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
2nd and 7 at the 5-yard line.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
You ain't doing nothing today.
Trubisky now down around his goal line. And this is going to be incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're going to get the first down here as he's up to the 14. They get 9 there, and in the process escaping their end zone, picking up a first down.
First and 10 at the 14-yard line.
So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. First and 10 at the 14. First down, a run with Cohen. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Leighton Vander Esch, third in the NFL in tackles as a rookie last year. There on the stop.
It's second and 8.
The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8. Now Trubisky to throw. The screen pass here to Cohen. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
On first down, Cohen. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Here we go.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Cordero Patterson, the one he was hoping to get it to. But it'll be second down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their route, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback when he delivers.
Now Trubisky lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like
this,
it's cold, and it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hands are cold, and then the hits seem harder. So, yeah, it's a lot more difficult to hold on to the football, which means you have to emphasize it that much more.
Wind chills right now, 12 degrees. He's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Akeem Hicks in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. You think back to last year, Dak Prescott was sacked 56 times, second most in the league behind Deshaun Watson of the Texans. They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Prescott from the gun. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. The first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Throwing. Prescott. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Plays like this when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. A third field goal in the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on third down. To the air again, Prescott. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the third time tonight. The kick by Maher is good. And that will make our score 9-0. So good work there to get points just before the half as they add on to their lead.
As trite as it sounds, every little bit helps. That's exactly what they're going for. Anytime you get a chance to put points on the board, you take it.
And they didn't leave the other side with much time at all on the clock. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get...
That's caught inside the 20. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time it's looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. He was second in the NFL last year with 6 interceptions. This time, not only the interception, but also 6 points.
And it's just so difficult to go get the football in this league because people are so proficient in the passing game. It's not easy at all to read patterns, to break on the football, catch the ball, and take it the other way. Yeah, when you have a guy like that on your team, you feel really good about his efforts.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. To throw is Prescott. This one caught left side by Cooper. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Prescott from the gun on third. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. Prescott now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting, and even better.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Khalil Mack in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming.
Here's Prescott. Looking deep for Elliott. And that will be incomplete.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here we go. Alert flare. Check 37.
On 2nd and 9, Trubisky. Open man is Trey Burton. And a gain of about 4 here moves this from the 6 up to the 10. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Well, the returns for the Cowboys on Leighton Vander Esch have been pretty good so far. You know, a lot of Cowboy Nation questioned when they took him number 19 overall a season ago instead of Calvin Ridley. But Leighton Vander Esch would get 140 tackles last year, franchise rookie record for Dallas, en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there. Again,
it's Elliott. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run on first down. It's Elliott. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
Looking to throw. Prescott. He may try and run for this. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. He opted to go with his scramble, gets 2 yards, and now and this a 39-yard attempt. Marr able to put this one through. And that will push the lead up to 12-7. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives have bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 45-yard line.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. On first down, it's Cohen. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. It's complete to Robinson. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 24-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Trubisky. And that'll be incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it's 3rd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. And Bryant's kick is good. And that will cut the lead down to just 2. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side, they'd be down. But now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit. Because if you're a starter on that side of the ball, I certainly hope you didn't loosen up your shoulder pads or start to cut the tape off. Because if you did it way too soon. They've got to go back out there with renewed vigor, for lack of a better term, and also a good plan. They need points, and they need them now.
Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Eddie Jackson with a tackle. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Being chased out left. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Trubisky hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Now Trubisky. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Go, get out there. 59, Mike to 59.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Elliott. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
1st down, Cowboys.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter.
Come on, man. Let's go.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st down in field goal range already. This is Elliott. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. They go to Elliott again. And once again, he's going to be stopped up behind the line. 2nd straight play. Shades of the 85 Bear defense a little bit. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter. Do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
The kick by Marr is good. And that's going to up the lead to 15-10. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
He'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
He's checking. Crash. Check it backer.
to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. They were trying to erase that deficit in one play.
They certainly were, but how about the reaction time and the instincts back deep to force the incompletion? We might need to mark this one down. We may look back and say, that was a game-saving play.
Now down by 5. They've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Strip that play. 18. 55.
They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 35-yard line.
Here we go. Check. 9. Here we go.
Prescott, he goes down to a knee, and that should just about do it. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.
I've got to go back to what you just said. Nothing comes easy in this league. How many times have we talked to coaches prior to a game and assessed, the strengths, the weaknesses, the whole deal? Even in games when one coach was a decided favorite, what do they always say to us? But you do know this is really a 7-point league. 7 points either way usually decides a ball game. We had exactly that in this one.
And not only that, but this is a gutsy
Yeah.